Welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the course template and take over the template and put in your content. By now, I hope you've already seen the tour showing you what's all available inside the template. I'm going to just hop into week 1, lesson 1 here. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to click on Edit HTML. This is where I can decide I don't really want a quote for the first week. I don't need one. And I click on Delete. In order to get to the quote, after I've done the deletion, I click on the beginning part of this, click one arrow up, and then delete. If you need help with something like that, feel free to shoot me an email or ask me at any point. The lesson overview, this is where you can simply type in whatever you need it to be. So in this case, I'm going to say Spanish 1010. You'll notice that when I hit the backspace, the sentence below it came up. If that's not what I want, I usually do like a Command Z for an undo, or I can simply hit cancel and try again. So in this case, I'm going to put it where I want it to be, Spanish 1010, for example, and backspace hit to where I want it to be. The same thing here. If I simply take over all of it, if that's not what I wanted it to be and I wanted to keep the numbers right here, 1 and 2, then I can hit the undo or I can hit cancel and try again. Since it's a template, it's a little bit more restrictive on your edit. If you're having any issues with editing the content, feel free to let me know. For the most part, it's fairly easy to take over. This here is a link. So if I want something to be a link, I don't necessarily need to write it in here. I can just say link. I highlight the word. I put in a link here, and I would go to the URL. The word that I typed is listed here. If I want it to be a longer title, though, I can certainly add that. And then I'd put the URL here. I suggest if you're using a link to something that's outside of the course, to put it in a new window. And then I would click on Insert. I'm going to hit cancel because I don't actually have a URL to put in here. I'm going to just back it up. I'm just going to delete out that line. You'll see an image here. I can replace the image. I can upload a new image. When I upload a new image, I'm going to choose the destination of where I'm putting it inside of my course. If I already have it on my own website, I can just put it the URL of the image here, and then I would click Add. Make sure when you add an image that you have the alternative text listed with the image. If you have any issues with imaging, feel free to let me know and I'd be happy to help you. Below is an actual table that you can use if you need to. You can also insert a new table up on top here. If you don't need the table, you can simply delete it out. On the bottom, you'll see some references. What's important in this template is not necessarily that you have to replace the content in the exact type of shape, so you don't need to come up with references in this section. Instead, the important thing to notice is that there's dotted lines, some content, and another dotted line section. You can put whatever you want in between those dotted lines, or if you decide you don't need those dotted lines, you can remove that by simply going through and removing those up to where the content is above it. In this particular case, if you don't need the table and you don't need the references, you would just click on delete and then it's gone. But if you really wanted that, you would just do undo or hit cancel down here. All of these pages in the template have University of Colorado Boulder or CU Boulder listed below. It is meant so that you can take it over, and if you teach multiple courses of a particular language, it is still relevant to whatever you're teaching. When you're done updating it, you would simply click on Update. If you've done this update during a live semester, you will want to notify your students that the content has changed. That's why I recommend doing your editing before the course is released. I'm going to hit cancel here. Because I hit cancel, it will go back to what it originally was, which was including this quote section. I can make restrictions. So I can put restrictions on this content by a release condition or a start date here. I'm going to show you what happens if you want another page. So say, for instance, you really liked this lesson 1 material template, but you only want to use that and you don't want to use these other ones that are listed here. You would go to Edit Course, Manage Files, go to Templates. Each one of the templates are listed as a folder here. The desk paper is what I have for the syllabus and virtual office. Modern Red is what is assignments. The note paper is what is this assignment description, and the ordinary blue is what you find for the lessons. I'm going to click on ordinary blue. I'm going to scroll down. And the way that I suggest that you do this is find the one lesson that you were looking at. For example, this one I was in week 1 lesson. If I want to have similar pages, I copy the page and then I paste it in. And I'm going to then rename it. I'm going to just call this one Materials. I'm going to hit Save. Then I need to activate it in that week. So I'll go to Content Week 1. I go to New. I go to Upload File. Manage Course Files. Then I go find where I had that, which was the ordinary blue. And I had week 1, and it was Materials is what I just created. So I click on Add. It will always add it to the bottom. Say, for instance, I want it to be added up closer to lesson 1. I would just drag it up on top. I'll click on that, and you'll notice that it is identical to the lesson 1 page. That's where I can change it again in the Edit HTML, and I can make that page whatever I want it to be. So in here, I might say Materials and Resources. And then I would click on Update. I'm going to go back to week 1, and you'll notice that it is now called Materials and Resources. You have some options here. Another way of hiding this material or eliminating it for the student side is clicking Edit HTML and reverting to draft or hidden. When you do that, you would have to hit Save. Publishing it is making it public to the students again. I'm going to go to the content section. You'll now see that that one item is listed as draft or hidden. You can hide particular items and in draft mode while you continue to edit them, and you can release them when you're ready. For the most part, I use that for things that I'm adding to the course that I'm going to use for the next semester, but not necessarily for this current one. When you're doing all these modifications of the template, you may find that you need certain things in a draft hidden mode for yourself, or you may decide that you're going to eliminate it. And I'm going to delete it from the template. I'm going to hit Delete Topic. It gives me choices. Do I want to get rid of it in this content area so that it's no longer in the week part, but the file still exists inside of the edit course in that manage files section. That's the first option. If you like your content or you think you might play with that more, this is the option that I would do. If you've decided you've destroyed that page and you never want to see that thing again, use the permanent delete. In that case, it will remove it from the content area and the manage files. You will never see this page again. In this case, I'm just going to do it. Now it's gone here. I'm going to go to my edit course, go to manage files, and go to templates, ordinary blue, and my materials and resources page is gone. I suggest using that when you're in the initial stage of using the templates, not necessarily something that you use during a live course. That's the main part of how to use and take over the content of the template that you see. You can do this with any part of those pages. Each page is the same. If you're using any of the assignments, it's just like changing your own assignment, so you can change your discussion or connect it to a rubric or take out the connection to a rubric at any point in this. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Thanks for watching this video.